Welcome to Small Business, Big Network, the podcast for small business owners who want big results from their networking. I'm Liz Drury, a freelance voiceover artist who knows that if you're not working, then networking could help. Cristina Vanini-Goodchild is the owner of CVG Solutions, a company which helps small businesses be GDPR compliant. Cristina's business is still quite new, but she's been able to grow it even during lockdown thanks to online networking. Cristina thinks that networking is much better than advertising for her business, and it's not just led to customers, but also strategic alliances. On top of that, networking also led her to being interviewed on television. Cristina, thank you so much for joining me on the podcast today.
Thank you for inviting me, Liz. Really appreciate it.
So tell us what your business is. Who do you help and how do you help them?
So my business is called CVG Solutions, and we are based in Spalding, but really, we can work remotely, so we cover nationally. We primarily focus on small businesses and charities, and what we do is that we provide GDPR advice, guidance, and training, we implement the full regulations for you. And then we help you to maintain it in a way that enables you to increase your reputation, strengthen your trust with your customers, and really, within your environment, your business environment, lead the way and reassure your customers that you are treating their data with respect.
Yeah, I think GDPR is a bit of a minefield, isn't it? And a lot of small businesses are a bit scared of it.
Absolutely. And that's the reason why I set up my business, because anyone can go on the RCO website and read the full regulations. But like you said, it is quite daunting. There is a lot of, not a lot, but there is some legal jargon that, for some people, it's quite daunting. So I simplify all of that for you and make it really easy to understand. So that's sort of why my strap line is, making GDPR a sweet pill to swallow. And I also throw a little bit of humor in it to make the whole journey a lot more pleasant.
And how are you using networking to grow your business?
So networking really is where I get my business from. Advertising, it doesn't really work for me. So really networking is where all my customers have come from, and then from there, it's sort of grown and other networks have sort of referred to me, or even strategic alliances that come from networking. So without networking, my business would not be where it is today. It would have taken a lot longer to get to where I am, especially because of the lockdown. But if, networking has been absolutely, it's part of my operating model, really. Without it, I can't operate.
So how many networks are you attending? How many meetings do you go to in a week?
In a week, so I do 2 that are my regulars. I do Net for Bees on a Tuesday morning, which is where you and I've met. I also do BNI. I'm a member of BNI on a Wednesday, and that it's absolutely amazing. If it hadn't been for BNI, I wouldn't have had even my first customer when I first started. And then I also do FSB, Federation of Small Businesses. So I'm a member of FSB, which then led to being on the BBC News Look North on Tuesday evening, representing small businesses, micro businesses, with regards to the fact that we've been left out from the government schemes. And the Lincolnshire County Council has actually stepped up, and they are launching this scheme for micro businesses. Obviously, we all have to apply for it, but it's £12 million they're putting on the table for us. And I was interviewed and had the pleasure to represent micro businesses in Lincolnshire because of networking.
That's fantastic. So through networking, you've got regional coverage on television for your business.
Indeed.
That's brilliant. It just shows what can come out of networking. What other exciting things have happened because of networking? What kind of difference do you think it's made to your business?
As I said, without networking, I would still be probably, looking for, perhaps even the first customer. But I've been able to make connection where I've been able to learn, because obviously when you start your own business, there's so much things that you've got to learn from marketing, from sales, social media, and et cetera, et cetera. So I've been able to make those connections. I've been to get the support that you need. As I said, strategic alliances. And it's just, without it, I don't think my business would be where it is today. The other day, through BNI, I've made some connections that I'm going to follow up. We've already set up 1-to-1 for next week. One of them, they're a risk management company. So they go into organizations, identify the risks, but then they need specialists to help their customer to resolve those risks. So from HR to health and safety to GDPR, etc. So that is a fantastic connection for me, for example.
And how long ago did you set your business up?
So I set it up in June 2019. But really, obviously, I spent the summer of that year to, get my logos, my branding, my website. So I didn't really start venturing out, if I can say that way, until the October. And then, a few months later, we went into lockdown. But thanks to Zoom and online, we can still carry on networking, which is brilliant. And actually, it's in some cases is even more effective because it forces you to have those one-to-ones to enable for you to understand the other person's business, but also for them to understand your business. That perhaps you wouldn't necessarily have that in a face-to-face, because you only have a limited amount of time for that real networking piece.
Yeah, so I think your story just shows that a new business can grow quite quickly by using networking, even when we're in a situation where we can't actually meet face-to-face with people.
Absolutely. And I could not recommend it enough. So for anyone who's thinking of starting their business or started their business or even they've been in a business for a long time, but perhaps they're stagnating a little bit, networking is definitely the way to go.
So what are your plans for your business for the future, Cristina?
So I want to do a bit more networking. So I've been looking at other networking groups that for me to try and see whether they're suitable for me for my business. I'm planning to further strategic alliances. But also I want to expand my portfolio of services. So one of the things that I want to invest in is a certification in ISO 27001, which is all about information security, which obviously goes hand to hand with GDPR. So that's what's in the future. That's my plan.
That all sounds very exciting, and I'm sure networking is going to help you get there, Cristina.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Liz, for having me on your podcast. Thank you.
Thanks for listening to Small Business, Big Network. If you found this podcast useful, please do rate, review and subscribe. And don't forget to share it with the rest of your network too.